Okay.
Here we go.
Alright. Are we good now? It says we're live, but it seems like all the... Hold on. Yeah. Let me check on my end. Alright, Twitch. Tell me, are we good this time? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting real worked up right now. This has been... It's really annoying. You're back, Chelsea? Okay, hold on. Okay.
I don't like it. Sorry.
Okay, so far... Oh, that's right. So far, so good, I think. Okay. This stream has been split up into... So far, 3 different streams, technically. Because... It's all good. For now. I want to be more optimistic, but this is getting... You know, this is getting ridiculous. OBS has been... The stream itself and OBS has been crashing constantly on and off. I don't... And it's not an internet problem. I know that for sure. It's not an internet problem. So I think it's a... I don't know. I think it's a computer issue. Maybe I have to, like, update everything again.
Would you like me to attempt to help you make you feel better?
Sure.
Last soda of the night.
Oh, Rocket Fizz. Root beer float.
Yep, and here's a PNG.
Alright. Alright, here we go. Also, maybe the music is what's causing eating up the RAM, my computer or something like that. I don't know. But it's like, it's music though. It shouldn't be, you know, causing issues. It's just music.
Tastes mostly just like root beer. Which doesn't bother me.
Oh, I understand.
Because that's my favorite drink.
Yeah. Anyways, here we go. Root beer float from Rocket Fizz. Alright. 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 Give me a minute. I'm gonna attempt to start playing music again. But if it crashes, then that means I have a sinking feeling that royalty-free jazz is what's causing our stream to crash constantly. And if that's the case, that makes me really, really upset.
Not the royalty-free jazz.
I know.
Not royalty-free jazz.
Okay.
You've never let us down.
Okay. Here we go. Let me close everything else that's not necessary. Okay. Okay. I think so far we're good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that OBS has been crashing. I don't know what the problem is.
So anyway, after Jellymon tries pulling a Pikachu from Pokemon the movie, Momimon has to stop her because it's not working. And we also find out Kyoshiro can use his Digivice and his phone to call the world of the living.
Huh.
Oh, okay. And like I said earlier, like this would make a lot more sense if Sepicmon created the other place, but like, again, they never imply that's the case. And Sepicmon manages to get Kyoshiro to the Senzu River, and we see piles of stones, which Sepicmon points out. And those piles of stones were created by humans, as Sepicmon states, which is a reference to the legend of Datsuba, who had forced dead children to pile stones in the river to reach paradise, as their children have a lot more trouble crossing the Sanzu River. Mamimon suggests they use the medicine to send someone to the other place, like he did earlier in the episode, because what are ethics? And Hero volunteers, but Jellymon decides to go because she's a Digimon and the medicine was made for Digimon. And somehow she does go to the other place, despite Digimon getting reborn when they die. So how can you send Digimon to anything connected to the afterlife if Digimon don't go to the afterlife? Of course, Jellymon gets very excited because of the medicine and beats up Sepicmon and somehow brings Sepicmon back to the real world, despite her physical body being separate from the other place. It's like, I don't understand any of that. And they decide to send Sepicmon to live in a graveyard, so or overall graveyard, so they can have friends there because of the dead people. Because Sepicmon typically live in isolated jungles, not cities. And the reason they do that is because they kind of changed a bit of the law, where the law is it's only friends of the dead to it can only be friends with the dead. Because Frontier had a Sepicmon, and Sepicmon, of course, tries to kill Neimon and Bokumon so they can be friends until they meet Agnimon, who tells them you can be friends with people who are still alive. Because he's confused by the concept of Agnimon being friends with Bokumon and Neimon despite all three of them being alive. So they just tell him, like, you can be friends with people who are still alive. And then they become friends. And the conflict is solved. He stops trying to kill people. That wasn't an episode, that was like a small exchange in a larger episode. Frontier handled the Sepicmon much better, I think. This episode, I think, is fine in a vacuum, but it doesn't fit into the larger lore of Ghost Game or most Digimon continuities. And it's kind of weird. We're also introduced to Hero's study file after the episode, which instead of having an analyzer screen in the episode itself, we get the analyzer screen at the end with a bit of accompanying narration by the cast and a gag or a joke. I prefer the analyzer screen being in the episode itself because generally the characters will talk over it. It doesn't feel so long that it cuts into the episode because it's its own section. But it means it's also restricted to like a single Digimon. I think sometimes they do as many as 2. In the past, like, oh well. And episode 34, Wall Crawler. Oh, it's so hot. Salamander won't spit on me. So we have a Salamandermon turning people into gecko people to steal delicious diamonds. And I feel like I've seen something like this, the premise of this episode before. I just can't remember which episode it was specifically. But I think the episode's fine, even if it has a similar premise to another one.
Okay.
What's interesting about this episode is they made it very clear Salamandermon was the culprit before it even aired, which Ghost Game tends not to do. Like, Ghost Game holds its cards very close to the chest. And they played it pretty straight. Like, some people thought, like, it's not going to be Salamandermon, it's going to be Geckomon, because there's gecko people. Even though the gecko in Geckomon doesn't refer to geckos, it refers to the sound a frog makes. Stupid people.
Oh, hey, James
This is why I
is in
don't
chat.
interact. This is why I don't interact with fandoms.
James,
Full of stupid people.
James77. Hey, man. How you doing? Hope you're having a better time than I am right now. Because I'm constantly worrying about the stream crashing.
And so fandoms are full of stupid people. And we see the Salamandermon has the ability to phase through walls without a problem. And also, another interesting thing about Salamandermon is Digimon doesn't tend to use a Digimon for like a background appearance and then give them a more major appearance. Which, like, a Salamandermon appeared in episode 13 as one of Sealsramon's victims. And the only other time I can think of a Digimon having a minor appearance to go on to make a major appearance without it being the same character was Sepicmon from Frontier, because like there was Sepicmon as background filler, crowd filler in the episode before that Sepicmon appeared, but that Sepicmon was only around for a couple of minutes, not a whole episode. So It's kind of a fuss. Like, it's not a major thing, it's just a bit of trivia. It's probably not the same Salamandermon from episode 13, even though it's been months since episode 13, because Blacktailmon probably took that egg back to the digital world.
Alright.
We find out Hero still stops by his house to clean, and Gamamon gets to see a gecko for the first time. Also, the subtitles were bothering me again. They translated jewelry box as a jewel box.
Huh.
Like, who the hell says a jewel box? I've never heard that term in my life. And we see a girl who's transformed at the start of the episode steal Hero's mother's diamond wedding ring. And Hero recognizes the girl from his graduation album. Again, the subtitles are being stupid because they translate. It's Satsuki album, like album in English, and it translates to graduation album, but the subtitles say graduation yearbook because I don't know, they think Americans are too stupid to know what an album is.
Well, we haven't had like vinyl in 7 years. Of course, we wouldn't know what an album is.
Exactly.
And no one collects pictures of them on their phone.
We see a young Hero from the end of preschooling, I think, because he looks small, so it wouldn't be his grade school years. And Hero doesn't have a scar on his ear in the picture, which is very interesting to note, because I remember saying Hero's ear scar is probably important back when I was talking about episode 1. It's in my notes.
He's paying attention and writing notes more than he ever did in class.
Yes. We find out the girl's name is Moria Nanami, and Hero seemed to have been close enough to refer to her as Chan, and her family still calls him Kun. So that's nothing important, just a bit of trivia. Also notice all the jewelry in the episode is platinum because the Japanese prefer to use platinum over gold for like wedding rings and stuff. I think I talked about that when we talking about Life is Like a Cocktail, or Alcohol for Married Couples.
Yeah.
And we do find out that gecko people do get aggressive if they're threatened, because Nanami beat up her dad. He's got bandages and band-aids and scratches because they tried to take her to the doctor. And Nanami has been transformed for a week, so it's kind of permanent.
Oh.
And Kyosho tries to chicken out, as you'd expect, but Jellymon finds a human gecko to be too cool to miss. And in addition to being able to climb on surfaces like geckos, the gecko humans have superhuman abilities and can melt holes in glass with their hands.
Oh my goodness.
Because Salamandermon is a flaming salamander.
Huh.
So it passed on some fire abilities, I guess.
Huh, interesting.
And Salamandermon can communicate through power lines or telephone lines or something to the kids' phones, which they keep in their pockets while they're transformed. And they bring her diamonds so she can eat them, despite them having been in other people's mouths. That's just gross, Salamandermon. We also get confirmation all his parents exist. Like, some people thought they were dead.
Okay.
People were talking about episode 28. Like, why is Ruli in a graveyard? Like, her parents might be dead. And I'm just thinking, or she's just going to a graveyard because that's what the Digimon is. And I was right, which is a common trend I have with people about this show.
Oh.
But her parents are away from the weekend. And we also find out the episode is on a Saturday. And Nanami seems to remember things as from when she was a human, because she leads Salamandermon to Hero's house and Salamandermon turns Ruli into a gecko human in her sleep. So just like in episode 18, the kids are not safe just because they can go home. So when Petermon erased their memories. We find out that the kids want to use a shipment of diamonds inbound to Higashi Izumi University's lab to find who's stealing who the diamonds are being stolen for. Of course, the Higashi is from Kyoshiro's name. The Izumi is probably from a reference to Izumi Koshiro from season 1. Was it, the smart guy along with Joe, because people kind of forget Koshiro wasn't actually that smart in the first season. And consistently through season 1, season 2, and Try, he does get help from people. Well, a person. Also in our war game, a guy from Taiwan hacked into the Pentagon forum. Salamandamon can somehow generate screens without being in proximity technology, and that's not ever explained.
Alright.
Because there's not even anything technological about Salamandamon. It's a flaming lizard. And Kyosho didn't want the diamonds actually getting stolen, so he left an anonymous tip that they would be stolen and told them to swap them with fakes, which they did not do because they probably thought that was a prank.
Alright.
So the diamonds end up getting eaten by Salamandamon. And she just calls them. She just knows they're rocks. She doesn't know they're diamonds. But they make her flames burn more beautifully because they're made of carbon. The diamonds catch fire between the temperatures of 690 degrees and 840 degrees Celsius in a pure oxygen environment. Or for those of you prefer your system of temperature to be a little more German and less Swedish, diamonds burn when you make them really friggin' hot.
Would you care to translate that to you guns of A? With the Fahrenheit?
No, I don't speak German.
Oh.
In fact, white diamonds, which are pure carbon, if you can set them on fire, they will leave nothing behind when they're done burning.
Huh.
And they just turn into carbon dioxide. And we see Salamandamon is kind of underhanded by making the gecko humans fight for her, but she does get upset when Tesla Jellymon electrocutes them and puts them to sleep.
Huh.
Kyosho thinks they can escape the gecko humans by going into V-space. Which I know it's called Fields, I call it V-space because it's quicker. And that's not a term from the show, that's a term I coined.
How's that quicker than
We see
Field?
some... because I have to name... It's digital field. The digital field versus V-space. And we hadn't gotten an official name for it yet when I coined V-space.
Alright.
We see Tesla Jellymon smarts because she's the one who tells Battlegamon to smash open a water tank so she can electrocute the gecko humans to sleep. And Battelle gets really competitive with Salamandamon for some reason, because they both use fire, but she never does anything to aggravate him directly.
Huh.
And we see more of Hiro's smarts where he tells Battlegamon to hit Salamandamon at just the right time when she's using a backdraft technique, which is her compressing a bunch of oxygen to explode it. Because Battelle then uses a fire extinguishing explosion by hitting her at the right time, which consumes all the oxygen. And it's one thing for Hiro to know that, but props to the writers for knowing that, because that's a very specific thing to know. Because not a lot of people know that you can use explosions to put out fires. It's mostly used like oil fires on the ocean, because you consume all the oxygen and suffocate the fire instantly. And Salamandamon apologizes and surrenders, turns everything back to normal and promises she'll never do it again. But you can tell she really just wants... She's acting good because she wants more diamonds, and she even asks for more diamonds. She's giving puppy dog eyes and wiggling her ears and wagging her tail and putting on a cutesy voice.
Do they give her more diamonds?
Hiro promises to bring her a shortened pencil from the art class from time to time. Because graphite and diamonds are both carbon allotropes, so they're literally entirely carbon. It's just a different structure.
Right.
I didn't dissect what Kyosho said in Japanese, but the subtitles say he says the molecules are essentially the same, just arranged differently. But that's not correct, because that benefits an isomer, which the allotropes are not isomers. Like an isomer is like some X number of atoms, Y number of atoms, and you can have two things made of the same number of atoms. It's just the chemical bonds are different, but you can't do that with an allotrope because it's the one element. And the reason graphite is because it's for every one carbon atom, it's bonded to 3 other carbon atoms, while for a diamond, for every one carbon atom, it's bonded to 4 carbon atoms. So molecularly, they're different. If they were essentially the same, they wouldn't be graphite and diamond.
Okay.
If you something like it's the same element, just arranged differently, that would make perfect sense. And if I'm boring people, really also get bored with Kyoshiro's ramblings.
Alright.
Yeah, another fine episode. And then we get to episode 35, Werewolf. It's Le Mormon time. That was a Mormon time reference. I hated the Mormon time reference though, meme though. Because Ruli goes to sort of an ancestral home of hers, I guess, to investigate legends of a werewolf. And as I spoiled with the Le Mormon time, this is an evolution episode, and I think it was a better evolution episode than Crimson Banquet, which is episode 25. But a worse episode, but both of them are inferior to Monster Pollen, which is episode 29.
Alright.
I knew this would be an evolution episode because every 10 episodes, starting with episode 5, something significant happened. So episode 25 was the first perfect, episode 35 is the last perfect. And the gang arrive in a village on the 100th year since the last month of water, meaning it's another month of rain. A month of rain, summer month of rain, something. And what's interesting about the title is the kanji you'd think is Jinro, and that's what I thought until I actually had the episode, because kanji, the kanji in the Ghost game titles don't have kana, and the term Jinro is already used in Digimon for Cerberumon, so we get Cerberumon Jinro mode, which is Cerberumon werewolf mode, but it's actually spoken as Hito Okami, which literally means the same thing, it's just an alternate reading of the characters.
Okay.
And guys, I got head to bed. Good night.
Alright, have a good night, Comet.
And we find out Ruli's grandmother is called Kazuko, because a lady mentions her. She recognizes, like, Ruli has Kazuko's eyes. And we're introduced to Ruli's relative, Sakura. And Ruli introduces her, like, oh, she's my grandfather's younger brother's something. Like, we're basically related, Sakura tells them. And I presume she means grandfather's younger brother's son or grandson. Probably grandson's wife, making her Ruli's first cousin once removed, his wife, or likely her second cousin's wife.
Alright.
As it's stated later in the episode, she's married into the family, so she's, I know, Ruli's second cousin's wife, maybe. And, Ruli told the others it was vacation, but really she just wanted to investigate the legends of the werewolf. So they go to see the old lady from earlier in the episode, Saki Basan, which they call, the subs call her Granny Sachi. But like Basan or Basan can mean old lady or grandma. So I'm just going to call her Old Lady Sachi, because she's not a nice lady.
Oh.
If at the start of the episode, we're shown Kenta getting attacked by the werewolf. And Kenta is Sachi's grandson. And notably, Kenta has 4 purple marks on his arms, or on his arm from the werewolf. Which is kind of inconsistent with something later. And Sachi tells them that every 100 years they offer a maiden from the Tsukiono family to appease the werewolf. And
sacrifices.
Yeah, this episode's about human sacrifice. Ruli is a Tsukiono maiden, unlike Sakura, who married into the family. I guess that's why, I don't know, Ruli's family moved out or something.
So they wouldn't be sacrificed?
I don't know, maybe not. It's just, I guess Ruli's father moved it at some point. Gammon and Jellymon are listening in on the conversation and are pretty upset by the idea that Wooly could end up a human sacrifice, and Angoramon is the one who has to keep them quiet. And the legend itself is 600 years old, so Angoramon questions maybe werewolves are real, because 600 years is too long for a Digimon to be responsible. But Wooly is also offended by the prospect of human sacrifices.
I mean, who wouldn't be? That's...
she likes ghosts and spirits, but she draws the line at human sacrifices, as you would. There's a scene where Kyosho has to put Jellymon in his head to hide the fact Jellymon's a Digimon. It's there's a lot of room inside that thing. They find out the werewolf is bigger than a bear because it destroyed it clawed marks through some kind of machinery. And Kyosho wants to ditch the town after that, which it seems kind of irresponsible of him. But he's supposed to be the responsible one. He's the dorm leader. Suddenly, Rolly gets a vision of a mob with torches chasing after something and arrows being fired, and they almost hit her, but it's a vision, so she's okay. And then she volunteers as tribute to lure out the werewolf because she thinks it's just an animal and not a real werewolf. Because human sacrifices are bad.
So I'm gonna take a wild guess. The werewolf's a Digimon.
Yes.
Alright. So who are we dealing with this time?
Angoramon has a conversation with Rolly on the way to her being sacrificed, and he remarks that he does not believe courage and recklessness are the same thing. That's my kind of fan service. Because I remember in Digimon Re-Arise, rest in peace, it had this hilarious quest line about Lady Devimon trying to get some cake.
Okay.
And she tries to cut in line and all that, but no, Lady Devimon, you have to wait your turn. And then she meets Angelmon, who also wants some cake, and they don't get along. End up beating up Angelmon for not respecting cake. And they reference that quest another time with, I think, Vmon was going around helping people. And they heard Omegamon ate their cake. And it's I'll go make Omegamon pay for eating your cake. And Lady Devimon tells him there's a fine line between courage and recklessness, which is kind of the moral of the Skull Greymon stuff in Adventure. Even though it takes all the way around.
Just remember, Ironhide, there's a thin line between being a hero and being a memory.
Kind of takes until Homeostasis' appearance for him to point that out. But the Omegamon wasn't Omegamon, it was Omecamon, which is a completely different Digimon. So I like when they call attention to the difference between courage and recklessness. And Angoramon again expresses he will protect Rolly like he did in episode 31. And old lady Sachi came along to make sure Rolly dies.
Oh my god.
She's still not as bad as Toma's grandmother. It's very hard to be worse than Toma's grandmother.
Oh, okay. That's still...
what
the hell, woman?
Yeah, she's paranoid. And we get the werewolf, it's Manticoremon, which is a relatively new Digimon from Pendulum Z, so it's only a few years old. And Girls Game has been pretty good with scaling so far, but then Manticoremon's giant, and I don't care for that. It's how did you do those tiny little scratch marks on Kenta if you're a freaking giant? Also, the poison comes from the 3 tails it has, but Kenta had 4 wounds, not 3. So I guess someone thought he used the claws on his hands instead. I don't know. Anyway, we get a reference to the reference book when Angoramon says Manticoremon are supposed to be accompanied by Angel Digimon because according to the reference book they use them as beasts of war in a sense because they have a hunger for virus attribute Digimon. And angels are I think almost all vaccines, if not all of them are vaccines. Although babies aren't vaccines. And evil Digimon are mostly viruses.
Alright.
And the Manticoremon ends up attacking old lady Sachi, which I call that a win. And kidnaps Rolly, and it turns out Manticoremon can fly, which makes sense, I guess, because they don't really have wings, but from behind the scenes, they appeared to have been intended as an evolution to Gargamon, the Gargoyle Digimon, not Terrimon's evolution, Galgamon.
Huh.
They never confirmed that. It's just in concept art. They had wings, but they seem to lose them when they become Medicomon. We get to see more of Thetismon. She gets to use her Biri Smasher technique, which is her launching her fists on the end of a cable. We also learn that she needs to be exposed to a substance before she can actually synthesize an antidote because she gets stabbed by Medicomon's tails and poisoned.
Alright.
We get to see Manticomon's Trinity Gospel attack, but the Trinity Gospel attack is staying to use the hands on its mouth. Its hands have mouths, and it has a mouth where you'd expect a mouth to be. But instead of using all 3 mouths, it just summons 3 balls of energy in its mouth,
Alright.
which become a spiral. It's like, I would have liked to see something more accurate. We're like, oh well. And Ruli, of course, stands up to Manticomon, and Goromon evolves and becomes Lemorimon, from French, the death. Some people think it comes from La Amour. It's like, no, the pronunciation is very specific. So it's not supposed to be. People think there's a Beauty and the Beast reference going on. Like, I don't think so. Lemorimon is also giant, which I don't love that either. But they do depict him with a. Yeah, I don't love certain Digimon being giant. Because Symbiotic Goromon is like person size, and then he becomes a giant. I do enjoy how they depict him with a level of ferocity. When he's attacking Manticomon, we get a close up of his eye, and there's this red haze in it. It's pretty brutal with Manticomon. And what's weird is like when any of Gamamon's forms become Kinderweissmon, the ring goes from yellow to red. When Tesla Jonemon becomes Thetismon, the ring goes from yellow to pink, or magenta. Some when people say it's purple, they're wrong. They are absolutely wrong. It's not purple. And then when Symbiotic Goromon becomes Lemorimon, it becomes blue. I don't understand why it becomes blue. Because there's no blue on any of Van Goromon's forms at any point so far. The closest he had was green, and he loses the green when he becomes Lemorimon. But the background of his evolution thing becomes green when he becomes Lemorimon. So like red, blue, green, fitting the theme. I wonder if I'll get a green Digivice Dual V. That's really all I have to say about the Dual V right now.
Alright.
When Lemormon's attacking, he repeats like protect Ruli or Ruli Mamoru, as though it's like keeping him focused or something. Because Lemormon I described as being very impulsive in the reference book, and they've been pretty accurate with the reference book for the perfect forms. So that's neat. Ruli has to call him off from Manticomon after he gains the upper hand because he does not let up. Like he probably would have killed Manticomon if no one stopped him.
Dang.
He starts acting like a scolded puppy before turning back into Angoromon. He just falls off and like sits like he's in trouble. And then we see Darkmon coming to retrieve her Manticomon. Darkmon is an angel Digimon. And she says that it acted the way it did because it consumed the local legend of the werewolf. So, again, taken from the reference book, because Manticomon are so ferocious that angel Digimon have trouble controlling them. So go away from Darkmon. And they really only exist to eat data, so it ate the data of the local legend. So the werewolf was never real, except maybe it was. Because old lady Sachi tells Ruli of how in the past werewolves used to be protectors of humans, and then a woman fell in love with her werewolf protector, so the villagers tried to kill the werewolf and ended up killing her, which was related to Ruli's vision from earlier in the episode. And we see probably why they said Hito Okami instead of Jinro because the werewolf is like a wolf man, like a furry.
Okay.
And, like, I don't really understand why we needed the hint of like the supernatural stuff. Like, I'm fine with the hints of supernatural stuff in Digimon. It's just it doesn't really serve this episode.
Okay.
But with the last of the perfects, I guess we can talk about what might come after. Because there's been a lot of speculation. Like, people are concerned, like, are they even going to get ultimate forms? Like, of course they're going to get ultimate forms. Stop being idiots. And, like, my hopes for things, like, I like Kano of Icemon, even though a lot of people don't like how he's a dragon. Even though they're sort of upset about the overuse of dragon men as Digimon protagonists.
Alright.
And not dragons themselves, because I think I outlined last time we don't have a lot of dragon protagonists, actually. And people are hoping, like, Kano of Icemon's evolution will have, like, 3 heads or something to reference the 3 Gamamon forms. Like, that would be very hard to work in, especially since Kano of Icemon's head already strongly resembles Kaus's head. People are also expecting it to have black somewhere on the design, because, like, the Ghoul stuff will probably get over and done with, and then we'll get the evolution. So I'll have to wait and see about that. They also think the name will include Sirius somehow, because Kano of Icemon's name comes from the second brightest star in the sky, and the German word for white. So I'll include Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky.
Alright.
And then, but it's probably going to end up being a dragon man, because that's just Digimon tradition as much as people don't like it. There's 3 ways that a Digimon evolution can go, pretty much, when you take a whole line into account.
Okay.
They either continue down the direction they're going, they pivot in a different direction, or they pivot back to an earlier part of the line. So, as examples, the Kabuterimon line is Stag Beetles all the way through. Even though Heracles Kabuterimon is technically half. No, Rhinoceros Beetles. Heracles Kabuterimon is half Stag Beetle. The rest of the line are Rhinoceros Beetles. Something like the Tamers. The Tamers gang are a good dichotomy. I think that's the word. No, that's not the right word. A good example. Dukemon pivots in a completely different direction from Megalogramon. Megagimon also does the same thing, but Megagimon's a dark evolution. Because it goes from cyborg dinosaur to a knight. Sakuyamon continues down the trend of the Kitsune inspirations for the Renamon line, where her becoming more human is part of the Kitsune legends. Because it goes from a QB, like a 9-tailed fox, to a Taoist priest, to a lady. So, because they become more human as time goes on. So, and then Saint Galgamon is sort of pivoting back to be more like Galgamon, which was Rapidmon was a departure from Galgamon, because Rapidmon was designed to be an armor form, and then they just reskinned it for Tamers. And I expect Thetismon to continue to be the one that continues her general direction. Like, I think she's going to become more waifu-like. Because people were pointing like Jellymon's a Mesugaki, which I don't think that term is correct.
What does that term mean?
A Mesugaki is a brash, devilish little girl, oftentimes a loli who teases adult men, typically in a vulgar manner, sometimes overly promiscuous. Like, I don't think that's quite appropriate to describe Jellymon. Like, she's teasing. Like, she's a little girl, sort of. Tesla Jellymon is a Gyaru, like, yeah, she is a teenager, you could say.
Alright.
Thetismon is an One-sama. I was like, stop fetishizing my Jellymon.
Okay.
So, like, people think she might become a monster. Like, not really the trend for Digimon to turn their ladies into monsters. Angemon doesn't count. Her forms weren't made for the anime. I think Angemon was. Polydron, not so much. And Lemormon, I expect to pivot back, and not just because of like tradition, but because of how he talks. Because there's things like Jellymon will end her sentences with "sa," and that doesn't mean anything. It's just a quirk. But Angoromon will change his personal pronoun every time he evolves.
Okay.
So Angoromon refers to himself with Boku, which is like, it's childish, it's boyish, it's soft. Watashi is then used when he's Sembara Angoromon, which is very polite and used in formal conversation. Like, men will use it in formal conversation. They don't often use it in informal conversation because then it's too feminine. That's why a lot of women will use Watashi in informal conversation and polite conversation, but then people like Ruli might use Atashi, which is a more feminine version. Then in private or with friends, a man might use Ore, which is like what Hiro and Gammon use, and that's what Lemormon uses. So the fact that he changes the personal pronoun every time he evolves makes me think he'll change it again to something more polite. Like, he might use Ware or Watakushi, which is just an even more polite form of Watashi. Or, Watashi.
Alright.
So now it's like, I had a suspicion even before we saw Lemormon that he would become something monk-like. And like, Angoromon does display a fondness for like period pieces and like old literature. So that could be foreshadowing.
Alright.
And people have also discussed the possibility of Gulus getting an evolution, which I feel like with the way Gulus is being handled, that would be very hard to work in. Because Gulus has never stayed around for a very long amount of time. And someone said like, Gulus won't get an evolution because Kane of Iceman absorbs all the 3 DNA strands. Like, I don't think he's getting an evolution, but Gulus absorbs all 3 DNA strands, and then stuff you didn't even know was there. So that's not really an argument against it. I'd be like, we'll get Kano Schwartzmon. It's just swapping out the white for black. Like, maybe not. I think a later episode has sort of been changing my mind on the possibility.
Alright. What episode are we on?
Episode 36.
Oh my goodness.
Episode 36, Labyrinth of Grief. Stop your crying. Stop it. Please stop. Stop. Stop it. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop.
Okay.
We have a Gigasmon turning people into clay statues.
Huh.
It follows the typical horror formula of a group of people getting picked off one by one and doesn't really do much beyond that.
Okay.
So when I watched this for the first time, it's probably my least favorite episode of the show.
Alright.
But the opening now includes Lemormon having sort of been added to the end of Ruli's usual introduction scene, and then we get a full depiction of Gulus at the end, and he burns away the screen rather than just being a silhouette. And then the gang, they're sort of all together with all their evolutions. And of course, a Gigasmon is making buildings sink before turning everyone into statues. So the gang go to investigate a cave that people were seen coming out of, having escaped Gigasmon, seemingly. And we're introduced to 4 new people that Ruli and Hiro met on online forums, but Kyosho doesn't know about them. We get Izuka, who's kind of a skeptic about stuff. Nico, and she's a mystic. You think she would have more to do with Kyosho in the episode, but I guess Kyosho's kind of over the supernatural stuff like he was earlier in the series. And Pyeonchin, who just wants to have fun. Also, Kazu, the only one with any experience going into caves. it was definitely surprising to see Kazu because we don't usually get man candy in Digimon, and boy is he man candy.
Oh, alright.
He's very muscular because he's at least college age.
Ah.
And I think dumping 4 new characters on us all of a sudden didn't do them any benefits because we get very little time to see them because they exist just to get kidnapped by Gigasmon.
Oh, okay.
So it would have been nice to see them get their own individual episodes first and then have them together for this one, but like, no. So you don't get much beyond their surface level personalities. But Nico's crystal can seemingly actually tell when bad things happen. Because she can tell where Gigasmon is and can tell she's about to get grabbed by Gigasmon before she gets grabbed by Gigasmon.
Alright.
But Izuka gets grabbed first, then Kazu, then Nico and Pyonchin, then Roy and Simba and Garumon, and then lastly Kyoshiro, so we get some moments with Jellymon and Hiro and Gamamon together.
Okay.
So, in fact, Gigasmon is sad because humans are not reborn as Digitama, so he is turning them into statues to end their suffering, and the statuified humans are to serve as funerary figures for humanity's collective grave.
Wow.
And interesting thing with the fight is an F appears in one of Batelgamon's fireballs to reference Frontier, because Gigasmon was made for Frontier. We also see a sort of a nod to the reference book of Gigasmon being able to sing into the earth because Gigasmon are entirely made of earth. And Kyoshiro describes not wanting to be burned by Gigasmon, which I guess is also a nod because Gigasmon are quenched at high temperatures when they form from the earth. And Gamon notes that he learned about animals which he is hearing to hunt from the encyclopedia, which he's been seen reading in previous episodes. Tesla John has to end up carrying Hiro a couple times to avoid Gigasmon and not make any sound. Kingdom Iceman again references the limit, like he did in episode 30, and Hiro acknowledges it as well. And the reason Gigasmon is doing what he's doing is because he saw a movie trailer about extreme weather phenomena destroying humanity and thought it was real life. Gigasmon just had to touch grass. And none of this would have happened. The movie was also scheduled to release July 29th, which was 2 days before the actual ending of the episode. Hero's perseverance and against Gigasmon and a caveman, and Gigasmon nearly convinces Gigasmon that humanity isn't doomed, and Hiro says they are working to prevent their own extinction despite Hiro not understanding why Gigasmon thinks the way he does. So he returns all the humans to normal and leaves to find hope for the future. I hope he says hi to Brother Vance if he ever finds himself in the Infinite Forest. No one's going to get that reference, except maybe the anime guy, but I don't think he's here.
Alright.
That's a Destiny 2 reference, so I'm not going to explain it.
Okay.
It's too much to explain. We've got too much left to do.
Okay.
Episode 37, Herd of the Dead. Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Oh.
Every night I feel my leg and my arm, even my fingers.
Okay.
The body I've lost. The comrades I've lost.
The kids have to learn a very important lesson that sometimes you gotta put a dog down.
Oh my god!
They're dealing with a giant pile of sludge.
Okay.
We have Rareamon, which made its debut in the last season of Digimon, and boy did it get a much better episode this time around. I'm not going to say that its debut in Digimon was one of the worst episodes last season, because that would imply most of the episodes were better.
Okay.
They were not good. It was not a good episode last season, but they're all pretty much the same level of terrible. We find shady businessmen dumping garbage in a remote area, and they've been doing it consistently enough that the locals know about it. and the garbage contains fragments of a Digimon, which then zombifies the skeletons of the graveyard that the garbage is being dumped on.
Oh.
So they're dumping it off a cliff into a graveyard. And the zombie skeletons are covered in green goop and wires. Or greeny yellow. Yellowy green.
Alright.
And we get some funny moment of Kyosho working in a programming center, waiting, and Ruli and Hiro are delivering donuts for him. So they have to go out into the country with some donuts to get him, to bring him his donuts so he can get through his work, whatever he's doing. And of course, Hiro and Gamon are happy to take a leisure trip, but Ruli can't wait, so she skips ahead. Local tells Hiro about how pets and livestock are going missing, and how he's aware of the dumping, because the zombie skeletons are turning animals into zombies too.
Oh.
And Kyosho loves him some Mirage donuts because they remind him of his foreign exchange days, and Gamon compares Kyosho's love of donuts to his love of chocolate. But then Kyosho gets very deflated when he realizes the donuts aren't fresh. Probably because Hiro and Gamon took their time on the trip, unlike Ruli. We find out one of Kyosho's teachers is called Tanaka because he's asking about Kyosho and their summer trip. And Kyosho starts to panic because he forgot about the summer trip. Because it's a common thing for like the highest levels of schooling. So Kyosho's in his third year, so the last year of junior high school, to go on special trips. Like they might go to Okinawa and do some scuba diving, or they might do something else. Kyosho describes the school trip as a huge event in anime and manga. So that's why he cares, because he's a freaking otaku. And he must, as a human being, he must participate in a pillow fight. And Gamon also wants to do a pillow fight, despite not actually knowing what it is. And Hiro tells him you can do it next year, because Hiro will be in third year next year.
Oh, that's great.
With the way Ghost Game is going, they might just make it to their third year.
Oh.
It'll be interesting to see if what will become of Kyosho if they do make it to third year, because Kyosho will be out of junior high school by then.
Huh.
And of course, Jellymon is pursuing more business endeavors, wanting to set up a resort in the local area. But then she's kind of upset when she sees garbage consuming the zombified animals, because that kind of complicates things. She can't set up a resort if there's garbage eating things nearby. Also, it smells really bad.
Oh, alright.
And the zombies come out at night and start attacking humans too, and not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Children too.
They zombified the animals, and they zombified the humans like they were animals.
Wow.
So the kids have to go and see what's causing the zombies, and they discover it's Ramon. The zombies attack the garbage dumpers who came back, and they fall into the garbage and get eaten by Ramon. So that takes care of that problem. Also, more human deaths. That's neat. No one knows they even died, though.
Oh.
And Gamamon doesn't know what a zombie is until Ruli explains it to him. And Sambara Garomon says Ruli likes zombies, and he says it in a way that makes me wonder, like, how do you feel about that, Garomon? Because you don't seem to have the same passion for zombies as her. And Hiro's sand field finally does something noticeable. It makes Kyosho trip and say it was something useful. Because Hiro's fields have been the only ones to not really contribute meaningfully.
Alright.
They all have some sort of extra gimmick, but Hiro hasn't utilized any of his, I guess. Tesla Genomon has enough strength to destroy a stone bridge in V-Space.
Okay.
Which I guess is equivalent to us destroying a stone bridge in real life. And you saw back in episode 21, she can break buildings. But it was Kyosho's rocky field. But this one was his cyber field, I guess. And Kyosho mistakes Raremon's name for Ramonmon, which I find funny because the name Raremon is stupid.
Alright.
Super Ramon. Raremon is acting the way it is because it's trying to recuperate its body after it got broken up and split apart and crushed in the garbage.
Oh my goodness.
But it sort of lost its mind in the process.
Oh.
It's just constantly trying to eat. Just it's constantly saying like not enough, not enough.
Oh.
They mentioned how its Decayson attack will kill you instantly. Like, I didn't think they'd go that far as to mention Decayson will literally kill you instantly.
Oh.
And the kids decide, like, oh, everyone is the real zombie all along. So they only have one course of action. Euthanasia.
Oh my goodness.
And Hero is pretty taken aback by that idea.
Uh-huh.
We get flashbacks of Pokemon and Digitalmon dying.
Oh.
Like how we got a flashback back in episode 16 when Mori Shulman said that you gotta kill Jiramon. Because Hero doesn't want to kill Digimon for Gamon's sake.
Yeah.
Some sad music playing, and Battelle says he understands how the others feel, which some people have interpreted as a callback to Goulis' first appearance when he said, "You understand how I feel." I was like, maybe? So the trio work together to kill Raremon by exploding a gas canister in his mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Thetismon neutralizes the Decayson gas. Lemormon hits him really hard with his swords to open his mouth, and then Kinovismon hits the canister to blow it up. And I kind of wish we got to see more of Lemormon before this episode, because this is the first time he uses his swords. And Kyosho just knows he can use his swords, I guess. So maybe something happened off screen. And the scaling is weird, like Thetismon is too big and Lemormon is too small. Like, I think they just wanted a good scene of the three posing together at the end. You know, just watching Raremon's corpse burn. And people have argued like, oh yeah, this is a shared kill. Like, well, not really. This is Gamon's first real kill, because Goulis is a separate personality. But even if you do share it, that means Kinovismon has to share the Digitalmon kill, because he's the one who smashed the shell in the first place, or cracked the shell in the first place. So the numbers would still end up Gamamon 1, Goulis 2, and Goromon 1, Jellymon 0, because Thetismon didn't do any offensive action against Raremon.
Dang, Goulis. Gamon's got a body count.
It's gonna get bigger.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, when they kill Raremon, all the zombies turn back to normal, so the humans are fine. And I like how the kids are uncertain about Raremon actually being reborn. Like, we, the audience, know because we've seen the eggs, but they just have to take the Digimon at their word. Because it's not like in Savers or Frontier where you see the actual egg where the Digimon died. And then we get a moment of Gamamon also questioning if Raremon went on a journey. And you can tell something's wrong with the subs, because like usually Japanese stuff will use a name. Like we'll use you and stuff. Like a lot of the time, like the equivalent of yous in Japanese are rude. So they'll just say someone's name, and then subtitles will sort of ignore the fact that they're using a name and just say you because it's more smooth for English. But this time they put Raremon in the sentence when Gamamon didn't actually say Raremon. He said Aitsu, which means that guy over there. So trying dissecting the Japanese, it seems like he's saying more like, did that guy go on a journey, or that guy went on a journey, right? So it's not Gamamon expressing his own uncertainty. It seems more of him figuring out what going on a journey actually means. So he finally understands Pokemon isn't coming back.
Do you take it well?
There's also he took it pretty well, I think.
Okay.
He also might have said he went on a journey, like not asking a question, he could be making a statement, but he says Hiro's name beforehand, so I think it's a question, because there's no question particle in the sentence. Like Aitsu Tabi ni de Tandana doesn't have a question particle, but not every question in Japanese has a question particle. So I'm just going to assume he was asking a question.
Alright.
And then we can go into episode 38 on Myoji, which is subtitled as Diviner, but again, it's the ignorant subbers, because on Myoji is a specific thing. You can't just say Diviner, especially when it's referencing Domon, which is an on Myoji Digimon. I prefer the real Amanokawa hero. I said the real Amanokawa hero. Fine, we'll find it myself. But we introduced to a Domon, which is the evolved form of Yokomon, which we saw earlier in the season, but it's a different one. Like they're not the same Digimon. And following Crosswell's example, it's a male, as opposed to Talmon's typical depiction of being female, because it's just a kind of very pale gray purple Talmon. And he is turning people into red talismans for some reason. And like when he's performing spells, he recites what's known as the Kujikiri, or 9 symbolic cuts, which are hand gestures. So he performs the hand gestures and says each name in the subsequent order. So that's a neat thing. We also see him accompanied by these green monsters, which are his Shikigami, which is taken from the reference book. Hiro's class or dormitory, or maybe just him and Kotaro, are visiting their sister school in Kamikura, which is Ashihara Girls Junior High School, for a festival. So they are in the Kanagawa prefecture, which is important. And of course, Kotaro does Kotaro things and remarks how the girls smell nice. And he wants to get some numbers, because he and Hiro will be dancing on stage for a performance. Because they need men in the roles, but they're an all-girls school, so they don't have any boys. And the fact that in Kamakura is important, because Kamakura was the seat of the Kamakura shogunate, which is the capital, and there's also the capital of Japan from 1185 AD to 133. 1333 AD. It also has many Buddhist and Shinto shrines and temples that are visited by tourists. And the Hojo clan ruled the Kamakura shogunate from 1203 to 1333, because the villain of the episode, Domon, is trying to revive the Hojo clan. Hiro and Kotaro participate as background dancers in the Dance of the Young Lord play, but the actor who was to play the Young Lord came down with a fever, so Hiro takes his place. They just assumed, oh yeah, this kid will fit, and he did. He fits into the costume, and then Domon kidnaps him, and they just assume it's special effects. Kotaro hates how good the Hiro looks in costume and limits having to play the Young Lord's lame servant. Probably worried Hiro's going to get more attention from the girls. And Domon uses Hiro as a vessel for the spirit of the Young Lord from the Hojo clan. And he uses a purple talisman as opposed to a red talisman. So there's actual supernatural stuff going on in Ghost Game. This isn't a Digimon-related happening despite a Digimon doing stuff. We are also introduced to a new Digimon, Espimon, who is not a bad guy. He's a good guy as far as we know. And they released some Ding cards a while ago, which one was Espimon, and we'll get to the other one later. And Espimon knows of Hiro and is looking for Hiro, but doesn't believe this Hiro is Hiro. He's a fake Hiro. He's not the real Hiro. And Gamamon doesn't understand, but he just goes with it. Despite knowing about Hero, Espamon doesn't know anything about Gamamon. So he probably has no affiliation with Hero's father. And what's interesting is also as Domon says he's been searching for a vessel for 700 years. So I guess like maybe Ghost Game around 2033. And wants to revive the Hojo clan, establish a new shogunate, and that's why he's turning people to red talismans so he can turn them into monsters, so he can have an army of 100,000 to conquer Japan. And the Shikigami are made from green talismans, which is kind of weird because the reference book art has them with the red talismans, and then he's later seen using the green talismans as weapons. So I don't understand why the Shikigami aren't red talismans and the people are turned into green, but whatever. It's not a big deal. Because Espamon doesn't really want to help out Gamamon because he's too busy looking for Hero, the real hero, not our hero, who's the real hero. But Gamamon gives him a look, and he just can't say no to that look. And Gamamon also thinks he's pretty cool. And you see vengeful spirits flying overhead, saying things as Domon turns crowds of people into talismans, and they say the Ashikaga must pay, which is a reference to the Ashikaga shogunate, which was the government of Japan from 1336 to 1575, after they overthrew Emperor Go-Daigo of the Kinmu Restoration in 1336, who overthrew the Kamakura shogunate in 1333. And I think the reason why they didn't mention the Kinmu Restoration was because they were a civilian government and had a very short rule.
Alright.
While the Ikaga and Kamakura shogunates were military governments. And some possessed Hero pulls a face like he's ready to steal Christmas from the Who's. I saw that, like, he looks like he's ready to steal Christmas from the Who's. And of course, Gamamon has to do the responsible thing and calls Ruli for help. While Espamon searches his things for proof of his identity.
Alright.
And Angramon fetches help and we're introduced to Airdramon, who Clockmon introduced to Airdramon off screen. And Airdramon can control his states, so he can go from being visible to non-visible. He probably got taught that by Clockmon, who learned from Bokamon after episode 9. And as with the reference book, Airdramon has an existence close to a god, and he acknowledges that, so he has a very big ego. And the others have to kind of tiptoe around his pride, or that he won't tax even places.
Okay.
Domon also doesn't recognize Gamamon and Espamon as a Digimon. He just calls them Shikigami. Gamamon also doesn't know what a talisman is. So Espamon has to spell it out for him so he can free Hero. And Gamamon gets into a fight and only destroys the Shikigami, the green Shikigami, not the red ones, which are people, so the people are fine. And Espamon is surprised by the evolution. And people are upset when King of Ice One managed to stop Domon before he could finish his attack. But Domon states if his attack succeeds, he would have imprisoned them in a labyrinth for all eternity, which is from the reference book. So of course he couldn't finish the attack.
Alright.
And Domon himself was also possessed by spirits, hence the whole 700 years thing. So yeah, actual supernatural stuff confirmed. And he got possessed studying the divine arts when he came to Kanagawa. And Espamon finally gets to meet Hero and says like he is definitely not Hero because he doesn't look like Hero. And then everyone else arrives with Airdramon. Too late to actually help. And Jolymon notes it's kind of weird how Airdramon and Ruli get along so well. Probably because Ruli is very much a does what she likes kind of person. But she's also an influencer. That's probably why she can get around Aidramon's pride. She knows how to appeal to a variety of people. We also find out the name of Hero's school is the Hasakura Gakuen Junior High School because Espimon stole Hero's ID.
Oh.
And I think if Espimon had any connection to Hokuto, I don't think he has any connection because if he had important stuff for Hero only, it would probably just be sent through Blacktail Maneuver.
Okay.
So there could be something nefarious going on. Well, we'll have to wait and see. And then we get to episode 39, Contagion Island.
Oh my goodness.
Leave Nijima alone. Leave her alone.
Alright.
Seriously, Nijima can't catch a break. Poor Nijima. We're introduced to Ryudamon, who is a pre-existing Digimon. He's not an original Digimon. He's one of the ex-Antibody mascots. It's definitely interesting to see him without a Doraemon, because usually you see Doraemon, but no Ryudamon. Ryudamon is also the other Digimon that got on a dim card alongside Espemon's dim card, and I could talk about that later.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's spoiling anything, because everything on the dim cards is within these episodes. And we get our first original Digimon that isn't a protagonist or Espimon. And it was about as underwhelming an episode as it was a good design, and it was a pretty good design. But it's just had a very underwhelming handling. And I'll talk about that momentarily. But we open to something Cengus isn't going to like.
Oh.
A woman
Okay.
turning into a spider. The woman turning into a spider monster, but not like in episode 21, it's completely different.
Oh.
Kyoshiro is quite alarmed as Angoromon tells him to get away from the newly introduced Digimon Yukimon, which is like a minotaur upper half, and the bottom half is an edgier Dokugamon, which is the big spider Digimon from episode 21, but not Akinimon. People say it looks like Minotaurmon's top half, but like it really doesn't. It's like, it's kind of there, but like not really. Like it wasn't intentionally designed to be a Minotaurmon evolution, but it definitely has a lot of Dokugamon inspiration. So I was disappointed that Dokugamon didn't actually have anything to do with it, especially since most of the Kodokugamon escaped in episode 29.
Okay.
But the Gyukimon claims to be Ryudamon. Because Angoromon states the Gyukimon will attack other Digimon and then turn them into Gyukimon when they beat them in a fight to increase their tiny population. So everyone hates them.
Alright.
Ryudamon just says Gyukimon says he suddenly became Gyukimon, worrying about becoming a Gyukimon when in the human world. But they never explain, like, did he get bitten or did his feelings turn him into a Gyukimon? Because he has a Digicore interface, but they don't really acknowledge he has a Digicore interface in any significant metric. But I know the lore about a Digicore interface, but the show doesn't go into the lore about Digicore interface.
Alright.
Gyukimon says he was told by Hokuto to come to Hero if he ever ran into trouble in the human world, so of course he came to Hero, and Hero can't say no.
Alright.
Angoromon's kind of concerned, like, maybe he's not such a bad guy because he's so small he can fit in Gamomon's palm. When Gyukimon is supposed to be giant. Unfortunately, Hero has to go on a 5-day-long class to a remote island, and they have to take a ship to get there.
Alright.
So they just leave. Oh yeah, we'll let Bakumon take care of things. And Kotaro hits on Nijima. Fortunately, this isn't "what the hell are you doing here, senpai?" and she brushes him off.
Oh, okay.
But like, getting hit on by Kotaro, could things get any worse? I said that ironically, bad things are gonna happen. Kotaro gets really upset when Hiro bothers him, because he has to do roll call. Like, he pulls such such a grumpy face. And Hiro also brought Gyukimon along on the ship, and didn't tell anyone, including Gamamon. Gyukimon starts coming down with certain urges. Fortunately, they're different kinds of urges to what Kotaro has, so when he goes after Nijima, he just wants to bite her.
Okay.
So he knocks her out with one hit to her neck, despite being tiny.
Oh.
And bites her and grows a bit bigger.
Not to seem rude, but how much longer?
On episode 39 and 44.
Oh my goodness.
I think one of these is actually pretty short. What's interesting to note is that he has 4 canisters in his back and they go into the body when he bites someone. But it's kind of a pointless detail because they just refill. And I thought it would be a limit, like, no. And Kotaro isn't the only person hitting on Nijima because another student wants to take her food, but Hiro takes it instead, and he catches her, transforming into a Gyukimon. So, body horror, yay. And everyone ends up getting transformed except Hiro and Kiyoshiro, which is one of those things like you increase the stakes too much because it doesn't. Everyone got transformed, like great, that doesn't mean anything. The central problem was supposed to be helping Ryudomon turn back to normal. So like infecting everyone, all that did was get the kids out of the building. It was really pointless.
Alright.
It would have worked better if Gyukimon was the monster of the week and not it's supposed to be a character in his own right. But, maybe I might stop with this episode and split it into 2.
Alright.
But only then does Hiro remember to contact Bakumon, who is really pissed off. Because he found Hiro's note, and like, why did you bring Gyukimon with you? So Everly has to take Adramon to the island again. So Adramon is back, again. Gamamon is, of course, adamant about saying Ryudomon as he is a good friend, but this has no build-up. Because they had 2 scenes together in the whole episode, and this is Ryudomon's debut.
Okay.
The Gyukimon plot wouldn't have worked if Ryudomon was in a prior episode, but then you probably just shouldn't have done the Gyukimon plot for Ryudomon. Because they try to do a big friendship moment, like you have barely interacted. Adramon's relationship with Ruli has improved even further because he respects her. We get a name drop for the Digivice. It's finally called the Digivice. Bakumon asks, like, how does Angoramon turn back to normal? Like I said, it's just a feeling. So they think, you can use the Digivice to turn people back to normal. Also, Bakumon thinks the Digivice helped the Digimon to evolve. Like, crap, Bakumon. But using the power of friendship here, it's Digivice and Ryudomon's Digicore, they turn Gyukimon back to Ryudomon. And Bakumon also turns everyone else back to normal and tweaks their memories a bit. And tells Hiro for helping people so impulsively like he does. Then Hiro apologizes before really slaps him on the back, and Kiyoshiro and her tell him, like, yeah, you helping people out, that's pretty good actually.
Alright.
The study file incorrectly lists Gyukimon as a data attribute, but it's actually a virus. And funnily enough, the reference book made the same mistake. The Vital Bracelet was the only one to get it right.
Okay.
And then the reference book updated to fix it to a virus attribute. Like I said, I would prefer if Gyukimon was a monster of the week. I think it would have worked well if it was a Digimon they had to kill. Because Digimon like Digitamon and Raremon kind of lost their minds. But, a Gyukimon would be something you couldn't reason with in the first place.
Alright.
I think I might split the rest into a second part.
Alright.
Talk about the dim cards next time.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So... wait, in that case, what episode?
We're up to episode 40.
Okay.
So to do 40 to 44 next time.
Alright, SGT Ghost Game 40 to 44. Okay, there we go. Alright. Okay. On the bright I will say this on the bright side. Apparently, I guess shutting down everything and then starting up OBS again did the trick. Because so far, the stream nor OBS has crashed whatsoever. So I guess that did the trick. Okay. Alright then. Sorry to keep you two waiting, not Nick. Alright then. In that case, let's, I'm pretty sure, especially not, you're probably tired, so let's power through this real quick. Let's power through this. Alright, so, Not, if you still have enough energy, tell us about, Halloween Horror Nights at Universal.
All right, so Halloween Horror Nights is a annual running festival that goes on in Universal Studios, Orlando, and Hollywood, and Japan, and Singapore. But the Orlando thing is the only thing we're gonna worry about. So it's been going on for 31 years now.
Alright.
Started in 1991. Originally a 3-night event. Later moved up to 8, and then 16, and then yada yada yada. We get to the total, the record-breaking total of this year, which is 49 days. So how fun is that, man? But if 49 days of this shit. So for those of you who don't know, Halloween Horror Nights festival held every year, like I said, in which Universal Studios does something a bit different to their usual, something different compared to their usual operating hours. I can, maybe sometime soon I can just talk about Universal Studios Orlando as a park in general, because I have a mixed reaction of the park itself, but I love their Halloween Horror Nights event. It's something I try to go to, every year without fault. Because there's always something new, always something different. Even if I don't like something that happens, there's always gonna be something that gets cycled out and gets replaced with something new. Unless you're The Walking Dead or Stranger Things, because then you're there forever. It is one of the biggest events of Halloween type events, not only in the United States but of the world. The event is very influential because it introduced a lot of things that is used now in the theme park terminology. It's one of the event. It's the event that coined the phrase "scare actor," which is those people whose job is just to go around wearing all the huge makeup and just start startling you for money. So, Changus,
yes.
How do you feel about that? Getting startled so that they can get eat.
I don't know. I mean, they're just doing their job, so I guess there's that. But I don't know about that.
Cengiz is not for it. He's not against it. He's just in between.
I mean, to be fair, I would be for it if I was the one doing the scaring.
kind of the impressive thing about Halloween Horror Nights is just the fact that it is it is a short event that takes place between the month of the mid September all the way through October.
Mm-hmm.
So it is an event that doesn't happen. Yeah, like it is an event that happens in a short period of time. But it's way how they sort of integrate it into like the park in general, where they go out of their way to create such like interesting and awesome ambition. Even to like areas that I don't, even to like places that I wouldn't think like, I don't like this house or I don't like this scare zone. There's still something creative about it. So I've gone to the 31st the 31st annual event. I would like to talk a bit. I would like to talk. Hopefully, for the sake of everyone in this room, I will talk about it in a very quick, concise manner.
All right.
Okay, so to start off with, a very popular music star, The Weeknd, made a horror film. It made a horror haunted house.
Oh.
It is called. So I should mention there are 10 houses. There are 5 scare zones, and basically to describe the scare zones is they're just a small area where like where there's just like scare actors who are just there and they follow like a specific theme. And they like they scare you by I don't know if Universal allows them to hide in the bushes. I think they hide in the bushes regardless of what regardless of the approval. So they'll hide in the bushes and they'll scare the shit out of you. Literally, because their favorite thing to do is hide near the bathrooms. So like unofficially, there has always been like just a section of the park where the bathrooms would just have like a bunch of scare actors who will just come and scare you whenever you try to go into one of the rooms.
So I have to ask, if one of the actors scares you when you have to take a crap, and because of that you end up shitting your pants, can you get them in trouble?
Can you get them in trouble? Maybe.
I'm not lawsuit wise, but like, can you pull like a Karen, like just like I want to talk to your manager, like, hey, I was trying to take a crap and he scared me and now I shit my pants. What do you gotta say for yourself?
You man in skull makeup. I want to speak to your manager. See, my Levi jeans were messed up. After you and your boy, chasing me with the chainsaw. So the Weeknd has a haunted house because the Weeknd likes horror. Weeknd likes David Lynch. He likes his Twitter. His profile picture is just of everyone's favorite beach scene, the eclipse. So like The Weeknd, a very great artist. I love his music. Made a haunted house. Like, I like it for the most part. Like, it's based around the album, like his last album. Because we actually got a new album of his we got a new album of his like early in the year, Dawn FM. But this is not about like Dawn FM. This is about After Hours, the album that he made that has like Heartless and Blinding Lights and Save Your Tears. Those songs that people know. So the gist of The Weeknd, popular rap star, I guess you could call him a rap star. The Weeknd's haunted house is that there are like bandaged up nurses who are cutting up people because they're what do you call it? What is it? They're plastic surgeons who've gone insane, and then there's people inside the haunted house that look like The Weeknd because they're wearing the red jacket and like the tie and all that stuff. And they will scare you by holding plastic knives in front of your face. Just and then there's just an entire like the moment you go into like the house, there's just like a dummy that looks like The Weeknd, just getting electrified. So it's like you're off to a really good start. Like that's a metric of whether or not you're gonna like his house, is whether or not you like that effect. So it's like that happens. That happens. It's really fun. You go through the house. You go through like a nightclub filled with zombie prostitutes, and The Weeknd stabbing those zombie prostitutes.
Zombie prostitute.
You go through the filthy bathrooms with the aforementioned plastic surgeon fucked up nurses. You walk through like the subway. That's my favorite part because like in the subway when you brush past the flaps to get to the next area, you get startled by a subway train that appears right in front of you, honking its lights. That's a really great effect. Like this house has really great effects. I guess it's not. I wouldn't find it as scary because the gimmick about this house is that it's playing like songs from After Hours. So you're in like this whole room where like there are. I do want to mention, in case anyone's wondering, you get to go inside the the Hall of Mirrors. That meme of him like wandering around during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
You get to do that.
Oh.
So yeah, you get to act lost. And while you're getting to act lost, and that scare actors that look like The Weeknd try to stab you with plastic knives, Blinding Lights is playing. I really like Blinding Lights. Blinding Lights is...
Okay.
Lights.
That's pretty funny.
Like Blinding... Yeah, it's like Blinding Lights. I love it. It's a great song, but it's like... I don't know. It doesn't fit with the tone of what this haunted house is trying to do. So I'm already confused in the Hall of Mirrors trying to get out, and Blinding Lights is playing. And yeah, like pretty much like pretty much, it's an interesting experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll go again, but I'll just say, I really enjoyed myself in that house. Next house is Halloween. The problem with a lot of IP, IP houses is Universal has the creativity of a blind child, and that they'll just basically for the IP house, they'll just mimic, this scene you saw in the movie. So the Halloween house is basically just, hey, did you watch the 1978 film? Okay, here's that. I guess it's supposed to tie into the theme of this Halloween Horror Nights, which is Halloween tradition.
All right.
But outside of the first scare zone, I don't really feel like anything follows that theme. It doesn't really matter. So it's you're going through the Halloween room, and it's hey, look, it's young little Michael as a clown. And it's you're wandering. It's it's the car, and all the inmates, are wandering around in the middle of nowhere.
Right, I know you're referring to Michael Myers, but my mind went to, wait, they have me as a clown? Oh shit! I didn't know they got someone to look like me. Dang.
That was the twist of this change. It was just about the Halloween haunted house was just about you.
Turns out the clown.
And how you
There's a reason I'm about to say that the clown was just Krusty the Clown. I'll give you guys a minute to figure it out.
Krusty the Clown.
I guess.
That gets it.
I don't get it, unfortunately.
Chase, it has to do with the universe of the Simpsons themselves.
Huh.
Chase, what's the most noble thing about the Simpsons?
The couch gag?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a Simpsons guy.
Oh my God, Chase, you don't have to. You
Homer?
don't have Chase. Huh?
Homer?
Chase,
What?
what is the first thing you notice about the Simpsons?
They're yellow?
Yes. There
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not
Now,
clicking.
now imagine.
Who's it not clicking?
Now imagine a yellow. James, imagine a yellow clown walking around.
Oh!
It took you this long. It took you that fucking long.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, speaking of taking too long, I didn't realize Anime Guy was in the chat for a while. I'm sorry, Anime Guy, I didn't see you. It took me too long to notice you in the chat. If you're still if you're even still here, Anime Guy.
You weren't here for my Destiny 2 reference, Anime Guy. You weren't here. Where were you when I made a Destiny 2 reference, Anime Guy?
Oh my god. But continue.
So the Halloween house is the Halloween house is just it's just the 1978 film. They didn't get anyone as Loomis, so it's they didn't pay an old man to pretend to be a crazy old man, to be crazy old Donald Pleasance. So there's that, but there's Laurie. There's someone who is pretending to be Michael Myers, and for the life of him, he's trying his best, but his mask is way too big, and that's just what's bothering me.
The Destiny reference was me referencing the lore entry of them revolting Mercury. I was just making a reference to that lore entry.
Alright.
So, like really, this would have been my least favorite if it wasn't for the next one I'm going to say. But at the very least, knowing what John Carpenter said about like how all of his projects, about how people reuse all of his projects. With Halloween Ends and possibly with this haunted house, like the inclusion of this haunted house, like John Carpenter, by the end of this month, he'll have enough money saved up so that he can buy Sonic Frontier, and I'm happy for him.
Alright.
So that's great. Okay. So next up, it's the horrors of Blumhouse, haunted house. So this one is a double feature sort of presentation. And what they mean by that is just it's like what they mean by that is it just takes two Blumhouse movies to put them in one house because they need to pad out a house. For this they for this house they take Freaky and the Black Phone.
Okay.
So and like it's a pretty great house. Like a lot of these houses are pretty great. You're not gonna find like the legitimate stinker in this entire in this year's event. But my problem still stands with they're not doing anything new. They're just repeating this. They're repeating the movie again, but this time in ride form. So do you know what the story? Do you know the story of Freaky? Do you know the story of Black Phone? Well, here's that story again. But you're there. You get to see a shirtless actor pretending to be Ethan Hawke.
Do we get?
And you get to.
Do we get to see what's his name? Strangle Ethan Hawke lookalike to death?
Yes, we do. Changus, yes, we do.
All right.
And so yeah, we get to see him strangle, and we get to sneak past somewhat naked imitation Ethan Hawke, and he'll poke his head out of a hole, holding the belt, which almost made me laugh because it reminded me of that meme of the cat in the hat in the bathroom.
Alright.
And so you get Freaky, the movie about Vince Vaughn pretending to be a teenage girl, which is all I really need to say.
Alright.
It's a good movie. That's all I really need to say. So it's my least favorite house. It's kind of doesn't really do anything unique. And before I get to the original houses, I should mention the Universal Monster House. Because they've been doing that every year since like I think 2018, and I'm all for it. Although to be honest, I wasn't really big on the event, the theme they did for this year. So it's like it's Universal Monsters Legends Collide, which is a vague title meant to just say, oh, hey, look, it's a house that focuses on the Wolfman, the Mummy, and Dracula.
All right.
And the story, the internal story is kind of weird because it's like Dracula is commanding the Mummy to go fight Werewolf because they all want the Amulet of Ra.
Huh.
And the house takes place in Egypt, as all great places do.
Of course.
As all great stories do. It takes place in Egypt, and it's about like this adventurer who goes mad.
All right.
Because he caught the mummy's curse, and he's harming his family and his friends and his loved ones. And he needs to go to Egypt to find the Amulet of Ra to solve his predicament. And that's sort of the whole house. It is Egyptian themed.
Ooh.
And so I kind of just thought to myself, why couldn't this just really just been like in Egypt, like a mummy's focused like house. I understand, like oh, go ahead.
No, I was just.
Yeah, because that's solely what the theme of the. Oh, sorry.
No, continue.
That's solely what the theme of the house is. It's Egypt. A lot of the spooks and scare actors and whatnot are all just like Egypt theme.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're Anubis. Anubis, cranks his head out of the cave just to give you a little spook. He'll do it twice. So that is just like the majority of what happens. But I understand like Universal Monsters, so of course you want to fit in the cavalcade of all the the monsters together.
Mm-hmm.
But like the last year's event, I think the 2021 event. Yeah, the 2021 event was like better, in my opinion. You do get like 3 alternate endings, depending on what night you go to.
Okay.
The alternate endings are just basically, okay, who survives in the end? I got the alternate ending where Dracula wins because of course, like Dracula wins, and the mummy is just holding the wolf, the Wolfman's head.
All right.
Which good on him. Good on him. Like he managed to get that head off clean. No blood anywhere. That's impressive. So that's great. And so like okay, so finally I can get to the original houses, and the original houses are really good. I recommend like if anything, go check out the original houses. More so than the IPs. The first one we get is Bugs Eaten Alive, which is a house that is a house, but it's just a house that when you go inside of it, it's a demonstration of like a 1950s like house of the future, sort of like exhibit.
All right.
And then you walk in, and it's also like promoting bug spray, which it sprays out and it smells like pine. I'm like, one thing I really like about Universal Orlando, the Halloween Horror Nights, is they use a lot of like sensory details. So it's like you'll smell a lot of things, you'll hear a lot of things, you'll see a lot of things, and it's really cool. So it's like you go through this exhibit based on this bug spray, which is tested, which turns out hasn't been tested as much because it's not a spray that repels bugs. It's a spray that makes them grow. So you get sprayed, and that's when the fun shenanigans happens. That's when you get to see the common housefly in all of his glory right in front of you, touching you on the shoulder, like that one molester predator in the Predator versus Alien exhibit.
Okay.
But the fly was not gentle. I will tell you that.
Oh, it was not gentle. Okay.
He was not gentle. So you're wandering around. It's really cool because it's like it's really like the 1950s aesthetic. Where like you wander like in the base, and it's just like you get to see like really cool like projection effects where there's like roaches crawling all over the walls.
Ooh.
And you get to see like giant. You get to see like the giant animatronic like flies landing on the fake windows that you pass through.
Oh.
And it's like, that's really scary. You get to see like the two really bad roaches. There's no two really bad roaches, but I kind of want to just make that Family Guy joke. Got you good.
Got you good.
So, wow, those are some really bad roaches. I blame the schools.
I blame the school then.
Alright.
So you go to the. So it's like you're going around, like you're seeing all the victims, all the scare actors pretend to be victims. Like you have to see a scare actor who's just has like fake holes all around their bodies because they've been stung so many times. And it looks so cool. It made me cringe because I'm like, why do you have so many holes?
There's too many holes.
Why? Shit. One second.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, like I have to.
No, go ahead. Take care of what you gotta do. Let's see. Real quick.
Alright, so.
Never mind. You're
What were you
gonna
gonna say?
Oh no. Go ahead. Continue. I'll
Yeah.
I'll say it afterwards. Don't worry.
All right, so like just the military comes in, They come in, they bomb the bugs into oblivion. They bomb the giant larvae, the giant maggot that I passed by. I felt really sad because the giant larvae died.
This is a sentence I never saw you hear.
And it's like,
I'm sad that the larvae died.
I'm sad. I got sad the larvae died. So that's a really great like house. Next we got I think the next one I did was Spirits of the Coven. And that's
okay.
It's a really cool one. It's like witches.
Ooh.
And all that, in 1920s Louisiana. So you get to walk into a speakeasy, and they get to yell at you. Presumably, because I'm a minor. No, presumably I don't have any money. Buy their alcohol. And flapper girls are trying to recruit you into their witch brigade. 1920 times were weird, man. It's like it's a really great atmosphere. Like I think I love the sets. My all-time favorite, I will mention my all-time favorite house, but the sets for this one is really great. Just like, you're walking around and it's just like this really great recreation of 1920s Louisiana. As you get attacked by the Cajun voodoo zombies.
Alright.
You dodge the witches. And all that fun and fun. I'm like, and it's just like, yeah, it's really great. Like, I don't know what more to say about the house other than just like, yeah, I like the aesthetic for it. I think the next one I went to was the favorite of mine. The under the deep. I think it was called Into the Deep.
All right.
Dark Waters. It is a it is a water themed haunted house that takes place in a mock recreation of a one of those New England towns. Where everyone fishes because that's their. It is fun, super duper fun. Yes. Everyone has to fish because that's the only way their economy works. So it's like really great, like it's really great atmospheric sort of place. The moment you walk in, you get to see like a lighthouse, like a prop lighthouse, just like shining above you, and it's like I guess we're wandering towards the lighthouse, and you get attacked by the stranger, the Gordon Fisherman stranger with the hook on his hand. He'll stab you, and then he'll give you some really decent, like some really okay fish sticks.
All right.
And then you get you get attacked by the fishmen. You know, by the H.P. Lovecraft fishmen, who I love. One subtle thing I really love is like they actually smell like fish.
Ooh.
So it's like you encounter them. It's like you encounter them and it's like yeah, they smell like just that salty, fishy smell. And it's like it's I'm like like you know this is very nauseating, but I love that attention to detail. Like and it's like so you get attacked by H.P. Lovecraft's allegory for interracial offsprings. Oh, come on, tell me I'm wrong.
It's terrible.
But he's right though.
I know. I know.
So it's like it's a really great like moody type of house. I love it. It's my favorite. And then we get to like Festival de Chupacabra, which some people cried cultural appropriation and towards the house because it's like the Chupacabra legend isn't Mexican, it's Puerto Rican. I'm like okay. It went from one poverty-ridden country to another poverty-ridden country.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
Hold on.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Hold on. If
Tell
that's
me
what would it take like
tell
that?
me I'm wrong.
Not it would it take like that, then it's late night, but I gotta press it still.
So, welcome to the abyss. Road trip.
Oh my goodness, not. Well, since I pressed the button, I might as well say this. I find it funny how people are always crying cultural appropriation when you know Mexican people's actual reaction would be like, "Oh, hey, cool, chupacabra!"
Hey, Chupacabra!
That's so cool.
Hey, look! Oh my God! So that was a whole lot of fun. Like I kind of like the macabre theme. Like you get to see the goat sucker as a chupacabra. That's the real interpretation of the chupacabra, the goat sucker, which makes it sound less scary. But you know, there you go. It's like an undescript village that you're wandering around. It's undescript because because they don't want to have more cries of, oh, you didn't get this village correct and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, you know what? It's just Latin village. It doesn't matter. They're eating tacos, burritos, like every single food you can imagine. Like, cause this is nondescript Latino village.
Nondescript Latino.
But it's heavily implied to be Mexican. Because you're not gonna make a horror themed. You're not gonna make a horror themed area around Cuba. The most
No,
horrifying thing about.
No, let's not let that stop people from
yeah, sorry.
trying. Let's not stop people from trying.
People are weird.
So you know that people are real. So that was a lot of fun. I think the next one was what was it called? I think the next one was called oh yeah, I guess maybe this is like this could be like my least favorite house. Like because the premise is kind of cool, but like I thought it was meh in execution. It's Hell Block. It's a Hell Block. I think it was Hell Block Escape. It's a haunted house that is about. Oh look, it's a maximum security prison filled with and the inmates are all monsters.
That sounds kind of fun.
I'm like, oh, you know, that could be. Sounds kind of fun, but it's like you walk in there. I'm like, it's like you walk in and like the first person who scares you is like, is that supposed to be a vampire? Looks like an alien. So it's supposed to be an alien. He looks like a vampire. Who is this? Who is this man right there? Who is this effeminate man? I don't know. I guess we blow up this whole area. Okay, that's great. Can we move on now? Yeah, that was sort of how like I felt. This was like yeah, like you walk in, like they're, you know, the inmates, they all try to scare you. Like I guess they were trying to be a bit more unique. It's like, oh, you know, this is a different looking vampire. This one has twice the forehead as the other vampires. I'm like, okay.
All right.
They had like the tooth fairy return. The tooth fairy was part of another house. I think for like 2017. Yeah, like the tooth, what do you call it? Like where it's a monster. Yeah. It's a monster who's wearing like fairy clothing, but looks like one of those, like, I think, can't describe it. It looks like one of those, like the elastic bullworm. I think they try to make the creature look like.
Was it big, hairy,
the face of the elastic and pink.
That's not the
hairy. I
bullworm.
don't think it was big.
No, that wasn't the bullworm. That was just his tongue.
That's just his tongue. Oh, this is his tongue. Then that must mean run for your life.
All right.
No, it's actually believed that that house was originally supposed to be another house. It was supposed to be a tie-in house for Evil Dead Rise, but that didn't come out this year. So they had to scrap that idea and just come up with this idea on the fly, and I'm willing to believe that because this house idea, I could have used a lot more work. And I think the last one, I think I mentioned all 10, if not all 10 houses. I think I've mentioned it, all 10 houses. So the last one
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a sequel to a previous house from 2018 called the house of 2018 was called Seeds of Destruction.
Oh.
It was about a plant monk. It was about like what if it's literally the plot of Little Shop of Horror. What if Little Shop of Horror wasn't a comedy or a musical? It just became deadly serious. So it's like so like a plant alien comes down to smashes onto Earth and just starts infecting everyone on the surface, starts eating them. And so the sequel house is actually about the people who survived that attack, went underground in the New York prison, the New York metro system, subway system, and just decided to live there. So, you go in, you try to get attacked by some crazy plant monsters. You go further in. There's lights everywhere. The subway lights everywhere, shining your way. You get to encounter a friendly vendor who's selling, who's cooking up meat, and you get to smell the meat. But I wouldn't eat the meat, Changus.
Oh.
Because that meat is probably you and me.
Ah.
Yeah, living that.
Wait, so do they cook actual meat?
They pump in the smell of meat. I don't know if it's I don't know where it comes from, but you can smell it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Because it's because you pass by a vendor, a vendor type character who is cooking meat, fake looking meat on a simulated grill. And that's just the smell they pump in. It's really cool. It's really cool sort of scene.
Yeah.
Basically, the underground subway just turned into Fallout and Mad Max. And they're being invaded by humanoid plant monsters. And the really cool thing about the house is the name of the house, the descendants of destruction, is a play on words where it's it's not only it's a sequel about the descendants of those people who survived the first plant attack by going underneath the subway. You're also descending down deeper within the subway. So it's the deeper you go, the subway, there's fewer subway lights, and there's hanging light, those hanging construction lights everywhere. It's just shining your way, and you get to meet some members of humanity who are getting horribly mutated and becoming half plant, half human. So much so that once you finally make it towards the latter part of the house, the lower levels of the underground, there's no artificial light at all. The thing that's illuminating your path is bioluminescent mushrooms that are on the walls and that are on the mutated human plant monsters that are down there.
Ooh.
So it's like yeah, that was like really cool. I'm like, that's a really great house. And so you get the scare zones. Scare zones are pretty cool. The icon for the whole park is the Pumpkin Lord. I don't care about the Pumpkin Lord. He's just someone who stands there on his stalk, blocking me. So. What's that? So you there's another scare zone called Sweet Revenge, which is just about like trick-or-treaters gone mad. There's a bunch of like short look, I guess like maybe like midget actors or like or I guess like just like normal people just walking on their knees, which that must hurt. That must hurt like shit. So they're pretending to be like small kids trick or treating. They gone mad because they eaten candy from a mad pharmaceutical company, and now they're just going around, being slashers. There's what was it? There's I'm forgetting a lot of the scare zones, but I guess like a lot of the scare zones are really cool. The shows all are, they're all forgettable. I don't care about them. Ever since Bill and Ted left the event, it's never been the same, man.
Oh. Darn.
So it's like, yeah, it is not, it's not excellent, Changus.
That's a shame.
So yeah, the shows, it's a shame. There's the shows I can live without, and then that was like 31st, like overall, pretty good event this year. Some misses, some lows. But pretty good.
All right.
I recommend because they're building the third gate. I recommend people go down there because they're probably going to do something once they finish up the Epic Universe. They're probably going to do something Halloween because there's going to be a Universal Monster Land in the Epic Universe. So they're probably going to have something planned for like probably like next year or next year's Halloween Horror Nights surrounding that whole idea.
All right.
So yeah, I love Halloween Horror Nights. I love just like events that just like that just you're walking through and it's like it's really elaborate and like well constructed and all that stuff. I really love those things.
Alright then. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun. If only I could go to Orlando. Alright.
Soon, Changus, I will take you to Orlando. I will take you to Orlando, Changus. We'll go to Universal Studios just so you can witness the Transformers ride and all of its profound, like all of its profound insanity.
Alright then.
I swear to you, Changus. I swear to you, Changus. There are moments throughout that entire ride where the only thing you will remember is that everyone is shouting each other's names.
Bumblebee! Bumblebee! Why do you keep yelling my name, Optimus? Bumblebee! Alright. Okay. Alright, so that leaves us down to the last topic of the night. Sorry we waited so long for this, Nick. Alright. Okay. I know this is a very loose topic, so I just put quotation marks big brain. It's not really a big brain though, it's Halloween ramblings, whatever that's supposed to mean. You're just gonna talk about Halloween?
Mostly, yeah, pretty much. Just just random, like, whatever's about, like,
Alright.
probably my favorite holiday.
Oh, why is it your favorite holiday?
I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know what it is. I just like horror stuff, and I even like it. Doesn't mean to be scary, but like monsters, aliens. I can't get enough of it.
All right.
Why that is, I have no idea.
Well, what are your favorite monsters? And no, you cannot say the alien, the xenomorph. That's bias.
Well, there we go. Well, yeah, pretty much. You can pretty much say my bias right there. Other than that, Predator, Terminator, vampires, werewolf, chains. I just love like creatures and stuff like that. I don't know what it is.
Is it like a fascination? Like just this is interesting.
Maybe. You know what it is? The freedom of creativity. You could basically horror is like you could do so much with it. And I even like it doesn't even need to be scary. It can just be like a character can just be like it could be like a bunch of roommate like it could be like a sitcom, but everyone's a monster. And I'd be down for it. No, Changus, I literally thought I was literally thinking of something. Cryptids fall in this as well.
Okay.
And I was thinking about like cryptid roommates like show.
All right.
It's just a bunch of like Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster, Mothman, like and several others just living in this house together.
Ooh, okay.
And like, and I thought it'd be funny, like like all the funny things that would go on with them. Like, they all have to go to a grocery store. What happens when there? Does Bigfoot have to wait because no shirt, no shoes, no service? He can find a shirt easily. Changus, this Bigfoot wears Hawaiian shirts repeatedly. This is important. You need to know this.
Okay.
But like, what the heck, man? I can't find shoes my size.
Alright, that's pretty funny.
Well, so whereas everyone else gets to go in, he has to go find like shoes.
Alright, Mr. Foot, is this your size? It's a little snug. You got anything a little looser? No, that's the biggest we can go. Alright, I'll take it. His toast just immediately ripped through. Can I return this? No, you already bought it. Oh.
Just Chase. Remember how I said there was another store I went to today?
Yeah.
There's a place I went to called Ghoulish Mortals. It's just a horror-themed store. I was so... Chase. It was awesome just...
Nick? Nick?
I just learned. Oh no.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh. Are you good?
You guys still hear me? Okay, it was just It was just my browser.
Ah, okay.
Freaked out for a moment.
Alright.
Like, let me see if I can get a picture.
You want to show a picture? Alright.
If I could get.
Yeah. Get that picture. Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to show my screen.
Oh, alright.
For some reason, it won't let me copy paste and all that jazz.
There's probably the picture's probably too big, so instead of copy and paste, you're just gonna have to upload.
No, you'll understand when I show it to you.
Oh, okay. Alright, let me see your screen then.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Hey. Un momento, por favor. Alright. Let me, window capture. Discord. Alright, here we go.
Look at this. It's just an Eldritch Horror, just upstairs.
Yeah, I see that. Ooh, okay.
They got like, it's like heads and jars and basements and stuff like that. Fake,
Ooh.
hopefully. There's a section where it's just creepy clowns and all that.
What is... Oh. Hey! There we go. There's a face hugger.
I like this one. There's a corner where it's just Stranger Things. They got those weird dolls with the almost realistic teeth.
Oh, okay.
This place was just so cool when I saw it. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that this isn't all year long, because I'm definitely going back. Because they got everything, like Lovecraftian horrors, Universal monsters, Alien, Predator.
Okay. That's cool. I'm happy for you, man. I wish I was sound more excited, because at least to me, horror was never my big thing. So.
Well, too bad, Chance. When you come to Chicago, I'm taking you.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be like that scene in Reservoir Dogs. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got a feeling that something ain't right. Scared that I'll fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clouds that look.
You're gonna
cut my ear off? Are you gonna cut my ear off now, Nick?
Yeah, that's where the scene comes from. You're tied to a chair.
I know that. That's why I'm asking. Are you gonna now cut my ear off?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh.
All right. Not. Do you have the gasoline?
No. Don't get the gasoline. Oh shit. Who's gonna be the undercover cop in this situation?
SGD.
SGD, you gotta help me out here.
She's muted.
Help you out with what?
SGD, you're supposed to be Mr. Orange! You're supposed to be an undercover cop!
Here's the match.
Oh my goodness.
Man, this is a dark ending for Reservoir Dogs. Janus is going from yellow to burnt orange.
Wow. I guess in I don't know. What was I gonna say? Like, I guess like a genuine question is like, what is it about? I don't the whole horror stuff that like I guess fascinates people in general. Like
Well, you get there's design wise and like
oh yeah.
mythology wise, but I think there's also something primal about fear. That makes everyone almost feel alive and stuff like that.
Interesting. So now I have to ask Nick, what's your favorite part of Halloween then?
You know what it is? It's just the atmosphere. Just like the story I showed you pretty much sums up my favorite aspects about Halloween is that oh man, it's the atmosphere, like dark sky, pumpkin, and like just like Chase. I would always get excited when on Cartoon Network in October because it was all Halloween themed.
How do you feel about the kids coming to your doors?
There aren't many kids coming to my doors nowadays.
You know what it is? It's because you know what it is? It's because all those kids grew up.
Yeah.
We were those kids.
I was gonna answer. It's like, well, you know, like they're too scared of the hail of gunfire.
Oh my goodness.
Which I imagine happens all the time because Nick practically lives in Chicago, even if he doesn't.
Oh my goodness. What do you gotta say about that, Nick?
I'm not disagreeing.
Oh no. It is funny how for a while it seemed like the whole trick-or-treating thing died down. Well, obviously one was because, last year, 2 years ago, Big V happened, the Big V, and everyone got scared to even step a single toe outside, everyone was afraid to even stick their hand out the window, otherwise, as, like, oh my god, my hand's disintegrating from the Big V! But like, but even before that, like, I remember there was like a noticeable like decline in like kids, like coming door to door asking for treats and stuff, and which is interesting because this year, at least like driving around, I noticed like there's like two or three houses, at least like in like close to where I live, that are actually still doing like putting up decorations and all that. It's like, oh okay, maybe and plus like you guys have heard them plenty of times in Discord, but like the couple, I think like it was either during or before the Big V, new neighbors moved in and they got kids, so they're gonna be going around asking for candy and all that. I don't have candy to give them though. I'm gonna be honest, Halloween to me, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn off all the lights so that way no one thinks I'm home, except my room obviously, and we're just gonna sit here and just gonna watch Halloween stuff on Discord.
And James, that's one of my favorite things. Just, the stuff we do on Discord. I look forward to it every year.
Well, we only got 2 movies though for Halloween, so unless you guys know like some Halloween specials we can also show.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely showing the Ed and Eddie special.
But Yeah, that's really my experience with Halloween. I just sit home, just this is nice. And then when the kids come ringing the doorbell, please go away. I feel like
Yeah, watch your Discord.
I feel like each year I'm progressively getting. I feel like I'm progressively becoming more like those, cranky old men that like, hey, you kids, get off my lawn! What are you doing? It's like whenever someone rings the doorbell, my immediate thought is to answer the door. My thought is just, please go away. I'm in the middle of something. Go away.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chase, have you spent all your money on Bionicles? Do you have not enough in your wallet to go like, and what, do you have like a Winn-Dixie? Or like,
I mean, I would do anything to
or
get
like what, just or like, go down to like the grocery store and just get, or hell, even like a CVS or a pharmacy, and get one of those like those big bags of just assorted candies.
I used to do that, and then eventually again I just stopped doing it because each year I'm progressively just becoming more and more just leave me alone. I'm in the middle of something. Hey kids, please go away. I'm in the middle of talking with my friends here. All right, so what Family Guy do you want me to show Nick? But I used to do that. Like the last time I ever got like actual candy for the kids, it was one of those cases where we just put it in a bowl, just popped it out on the chair in front of our door. Just, all right, kids, take one. We know you're not gonna take one, but just take it. Just, here you go. Here's a candy. Here's a piece of paper.
One kid who could take one without, one kid who could take more than me knowing just gets toilet paper and TV. Gets toilet paper and eggs.
Yeah. I remember one Halloween, my parent, this was when I was in like, I think high school, so I still didn't have money on my own. My parents would like get like a bowl. They got this it was like this like animatronic bowl or something like that, where like just like an animatronic hand, and basically like the whole thing is like it's like a motion sensor. Like when you try to go grab the candy, the hand will come down on the kid's hand, like, oh, it's like, oh my goodness, only take one.
No, it's weird.
It didn't work. Because I remember like 5 minutes later, after we put out the bowl, we checked on it, and it's like, oh, some kid or some guy just emptied the whole thing. Okay, thanks, kids. Little bastards. Don't you find it interesting how as a kid, the more you grow older, even though everyone was a kid, but then as you grow older, you start hating kids.
Yeah. Why do people have kids?
I don't know, something about repopulating and all that.
Why can't everyone just be gay? That'd make things so much easier.
completely unrelated, but your gay comment just reminded me of something. I told you guys I'm watching the new Kamen Rider show, Kamen Rider Black Sun, and there's a whole plot line where long story short, the Japanese government is being controlled by a bunch of monsters in secrecy, and these monsters, in order to like sustain themselves, to like live forever or some shit, they literally process humans into like some kind of, I don't know, soylent drink. That's literally how they stay alive. They kill humans and process them into some kind of soylent drink to stay alive.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. I know. And then, but like I remember, like one of the comments was like, because like the prime minister is also in league with these monsters, probably because he is a monster himself. It's like talking about like how they take, you know, the people of Japan that are unnecessary to society, the homeless, the bums, and this is quote, the people of the LGBTQ community.
People of the LGBTQ community.
Because in this show, it's literally said these monsters literally kill gay people because they're no use to society. So like, you're no use to society, so you know we'll turn you into Soylent Green.
You know, if I was turning people into something for consumption, I would probably avoid the gay people.
Oh. Okay.
Chungus, AIDS is a serious problem, Chungus.
Oh my goodness! Whoa! I didn't bring in the AIDS! Jeez!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
But Chungus, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Like, would you drink the AIDS juice?
The AIDS juice? I don't know.
Hey, if you were a monster who has to live forever for drinking juice, and all you can find are the members of the LGBT, would you risk drinking that juice?
What kind of question is that, not? My goodness.
I'm just saying, if you want to live forever, there's a chance that you might, catch something, and you have to live with that forever.
What?
Would you do it?
I know it's late on your guys' end, but my goodness, I didn't realize the sleep deprivation would end up getting you guys this loony.
Man, Not's just savage tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Chungus, it's not even my bedtime.
Well,
SGD,
this
is my normal savageness.
Well, SGD, you're on the opposite side of Earth, so you're the exception. But it's like, what the hell? Where did all these AIDS jokes come from? My goodness.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more STIs than just AIDS.
Oh my gosh. I must establish, I do not speak for these guys, okay? They're the ones making the AIDS jokes. I am full supportive of the LGBT community. Please don't cancel me, please.
Well, Chungus, I'm the one arguing that we shouldn't be turning gay people into consumables.
Yeah, by making an AIDS joke, my goodness.
We have the Channels podcast. We have the Two Cents podcast. Do not approve or support the views of one Christian Gonzalez.
Oh my gosh! Not just doxed himself. Oh my gosh! What's next? His address and phone number? Please not. Please, whatever you do, do not for our sake, please do not give away information about your credit card number along with the 3 digits on the back and the expiration date. Hopefully you can write it down on a piece of paper if you can.
Expiration date. We're doing this at 3 a.m. Chingus, of course. So Do not dox someone at 3 a.m.
Uh,
Getting back on topic for Nick's sake.
I guess. Where do I go next?
let's what's a memory you remember about Halloween?
What's a memory I remember of Halloween?
I remember one memory. I don't know why. I went trick or treating plenty of times before as a kid, but this is the one experience I remember. This was back when the Clone Wars first came out. Not the show. I'm talking about Clone Wars, the movie, the animated movie, the one that everyone says is shit. But I remember as a kid, I liked it. I liked it as a kid. But I remember that Halloween because like, oh wow, Clone Wars. I dressed up as a clone trooper. But it's funny enough. So I dressed up.
Funny enough, I remember dressing up like a clone trooper as well.
So funny enough. So I had a costume with like foam padding and stuff of the Phase 2 clone trooper, but then there was like a plastic mask, but then I couldn't really wear the mask properly because I got glasses. So what ended up happening was somehow we bought let me see if I can find it. It was like it was this oversized clone trooper helmet that I remember I got to like advertise like Star. Wait, is this it? No, that's a replica. Jeebus, goodness, that's too expensive, Amazon. Go fuck yourself. Hold on, Clone Wars. Maybe Clone Trooper helmet. It was like for kids and stuff. Hold on, for kids. Oh, was it this one? The voice changer? Oh shit, I think this might be it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Uno momento. Like, I think this might be it. Hold on, just gotta make sure I crop this so that way none of my private information is being shown on screen. At least when I show this to stream. Here we go. Oh, wrong window. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit this part out of the stream. Or at least, like, blur it. Oh, wonderful, I doxed myself. Oh shit, that's straight up my fucking zip code right there. God damn it. I have to, you know, take these different parts of the streams down anyways to edit the dead air out, so you know what? The Halloween stream's not gonna stay up on Twitch. I gotta edit this shit. I doxed myself. Fuck. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta make sure. I'm just gonna publish these things. But but like I got that helmet, and somehow I was able to fit my small head and glasses in it, and then and yeah, I went trick or treating in that thing. I don't think we ever installed the batteries, cause I don't ever remember the voice changing thing actually working. But like I had this I had the clone trooper helmet, and eventually I remember that specific Halloween because we were trick or treating, and I remember we actually went door to door, and I got so much candy that my bag filled up. So I used a big brain idea of, okay, you know what? Well, one, it's getting really uncomfortable to keep wearing this helmet because the voice changing gimmick and all that, the batteries and stuff, it's getting really heavy on my head, on a kid's head. So I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna use it as a bucket for more candy. It was great.
See, I wish I could say I had memories of Halloween, but I am someone who tends to Chance. Part of me kind of wishes I drink a lot, so I can excuse why I don't remember a lot of things.
Oh my gosh.
But because I don't remember a lot of my childhood Halloween memories. The most I remember is like this, like our Halloween.
Actually, let me see if I can look up the costume I had. Costume. Let me see if I can find a costume. 4 kids. Oh, well, 1. I put phase 3 for some reason. Clone Trooper costume for kids. Oh! This is it! Okay, here. I won't show the Amazon listing, but I will show the picture. This is what I wore. This is it. Minus the helmet.
I wore that too.
Yeah, I had this thing. Okay, I was wrong. It didn't have foam padding. That's my memory. That's my memory being wonky. But I remember this mask, helmet, whatever, just wouldn't fit on. Just wasn't. It wasn't comfortable because of my glasses. So we got the oversized, voice changing helmet. Yeah, I had this thing. I do remember one Halloween though. I think it was in high school. It was either high school or when I was back in community college, where I did actually go to a Halloween party, but it was being hosted by a friend of mine, cause I used to go to her house for a Bible study. That's right. Your boy Ching is a devout Christian. That's right. I believe. That's right. Genghis Khan, right here on the spot, do say that I indeed believe that there's a big sky daddy in the heavens that's watching over me. And if you tell me that's stupid, well, you know what? Then I'll be stupid. I'm already stupid enough as it is. But I used to go to her house for Bible study, and then I went there because she had a party going on, and for like a Halloween party. I remember I dressed. I remember now. I dressed up as a pirate. Because it was like a Halloween party. So I might as well, attempt to dress up. It's been a while, so I found this old I think it's like a Jack Sparrow costume, and I just took the shirt part of it, just put it on top of my own shirt, just like button up, and then yeah, I call it there. I'm a pirate. It was the most half-assed costume. But I remember, I don't remember much other than that party. I just, I don't think I drank, but I do know for sure that I was getting really drowsy because we stayed up a while, and I remember I remember we had like this whole conversation like at like a campfire, and oh, now I remember. I remember one thing from that conversation at like the fire pit in her backyard. We were talking about the type of woman we like. Someone asked me if I liked if I liked black woman, and I said. I remember I was like pretty much, I don't know, they're not really my type, and then people were like saying like, oh, you're racist, but as a joke, obviously, like, you know, oh, Jenkins is racist, wow.
Did someone say like black woman?
I know you do, SGD. So why don't you and Serena get together already?
Serena's African American. It's not my type.
Oh my goodness. You gotta go for the who killed Captain Alex, African.
I mean, technically speaking, it's not incorrect.
I don't know. I haven't had much Halloween experiences after that, especially with the big, with the big CV going on 2 years ago. No, anime guy. SGD is not into white woman. He has told us many times his preference is
the opposite anime guy. I'm into the opposite.
Oh.
I've never had much experience with Halloween because it didn't really take off in Australia until I reached my teens.
Huh.
Like, there's a thing, but what Americans think of with Halloween, like, it wasn't really like that for us. But apparently it started becoming more of a thing after I hit my teens.
Hmm.
I went trick-or-treating once.
How'd that go?
It went good. Yeah, I was living with my nan at the time. It was a friendly neighborhood. Yeah, we were living with her because we were moving. We sold our old house and we're building a new house, so we weren't in any trouble.
What about you, Nod? What's your experience with Halloween?
That's my experience with Halloween is very mundane. I wish I could say like I have just stories. I went as Captain Jack Sparrow once. It was not an official costume. It was a mishmash of things that I was part of that kind of family. We rarely got like the store-bought costumes because they were expensive.
I know that feeling.
There's a costume like for the longest time. There was a costume. I usually thought was like, it's the rich costume. It was I think it was called like Commander Blade or whatever. There was 2,000 like edgelord spirit in the world. Go ahead.
No, continue.
In my kid mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, alright. If you gotta call a night, go ahead, man.
Yeah. Whatever your talk for. I'm good, I guess.
Have a good night, Nod. Man, Nick, this was your topic. How come you're not talking much?
Well, it's 3 where I am.
Oh.
I also thought, technically, we're doing a big 2 cents lunch break. I can also talk there.
Wait, are you able to do lunch break then Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, what time's the party then?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'll double check.
Yeah, double check. If I don't want our lunch break, interrupt, making it late to the party.
Eh.
I mean, you said it was, you wanted to go to make up for club.
No, I went to Black Adam to make up.
Oh. But you're still gonna go to that party?
Yeah, but I might be late. Who cares? It's my club.
Oh. Okay.
Grant, I'm vice president, but still, it's mine.
I mean, isn't like Butter gonna be there as well?
Yeah, so he can take care of everything while I'm gone.
Wow. All right.
Hey, he's the president. He should be taking care of things when I'm gone.
All right, then yeah, we could definitely do the lunch break Halloween, and hopefully by then, OBS is gonna behave. I'm still a little salty about that. I'm still a little salty about that. That's all. Okay then. Yeah. So, I guess then since we've been going for so long, we should call it here then. But yeah. This was the 2 cents live Halloween special. But then we're gonna have the 2 cents lunch break Halloween special, and what was I gonna say? Also, Nick, so checking the calendar and all that. So if we want to do that Transformers Halloween special reading stream, I guess technically later tonight, it would have to be like around like 9ish, my time.
Your time? All right.
All right.
Chance. Admittedly, despite the fact that I'm lack of talking, I'm not too tired.
Huh.
I can still hang out for a bit.
Wait, which one was the Halloween special comic again?
The Starscream one.
Oh, that's right. Okay, hold on. Just give me a second. I'm actually looking up right now so that way, we could read it tomorrow on stream. No, you stupid website! Fuck you! Oh. Here we go. Let me bookmark you. Alright, and then we can read that tomorrow. Alright. Okay, so yeah. So tomorrow then we'll do a impromptu I guess technically what's called a gorilla stream. We'll read the Halloween special for like a short stream, and then after that, tomorrow though, Nick, at least in the Discord server, I'm gonna be watching that Helsing Abridged. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so
Hey, you guys want to see a dead body?
all right. Okay, so with that said, then yeah, we're gonna call it here. And oh my God, it's almost 1:30 where I am. So I'm gonna probably have to call it also just a night in total on Discord too. All right.
Well, I do have at least one thing to show you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, then you can show me then, and then we'll call it a night. All right. So with that said, thank you everyone who stuck with us despite the technical difficulties and all that. We'll see you tomorrow for that gorilla comic reading stream. And on Monday is the lunch break Halloween special. So look forward to that. And yeah, so with that said then, thank you everyone who came. Let me turn off that royalty free jazz. You're not useful anymore. And with that said then, thank you everyone who came. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.